Hey, I'm Tom.
And I'm Tanner.
Welcome to episode 69, Bird Squawk.
Nice. Alright, welcome back. As always, once again, a quiet week in the world of the Eagles, which isn't a bad thing. We're at this weird, middle ground as OTAs just wrapped up. Camp's going to start soon, so not much to get on the plate. The first topic of today, there was reports coming out from Jeff McLane actually reported that internal concern that as Fletcher Cox is entering his 30s, he's not going to take the necessary steps needed to stay with the Eagles, such as Brandon Graham, how he's elevated his play since getting that late contract. And Fletch still has a couple years. I don't know exactly what the contract is, but
yeah, I don't get where that's coming from. I mean, I'm not putting a whole lot of faith in that report.
No, me either.
I mean, Fletch, I think, is committed to the Eagles. I mean, he's always showed up when he's healthy. I think. I don't know. I mean, I do value Jeff McLane's articles, but I don't know about this one.
I think the big thing is, I think I have even spoken about it early on into the offseason. He's a guy that, depending on where this team really sees themselves, he could be a trade piece.
Yeah, we did talk about that. We have talked about that in the past. I mean, there is some value. I think that is one thing the Birds need to look at is how long do you let him go past where you think you might get some young value for him.
Exactly. I know it's weird right now. You don't exactly know where this is. Early off season, we were thinking 2 to 3, maybe even 4 years, and now I think we've been a little more optimistic on what the time frame is.
Right.
A little open mind, but obviously you have to think, is he going to be a key contributor when we get to that point on that contract? And like we said, maybe it is I'm not saying trade the guy. That's not what I'm saying at all. But depending on where this season going into next season goes, maybe it's a possibility.
One thing, talking about the OTAs wrapping up, I think they have everybody signed, sealed, and delivered except for Landon Dickerson.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
He has signed yet. Everybody else has signed. I don't know what the hang-up there is. Maybe what I was saying is maybe it's something locked up with his knee, something, in the medical, who knows. But he's the only guy that has not been signed, sealed, and delivered yet. I think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm not really. Yeah, that is interesting a little bit. I didn't even think about that. Next, we'll get into OTAs a little deeper, but Julio, obviously, we all knew it wasn't really going to happen.
We lost out on Julio.
It was a second, a fourth, and a sixth, or a fifth and a sixth, or something.
All I can think of is the money just didn't work.
Yeah, I think it's just
because for the second, sixth, fifth, whatever the heck they gave.
Yeah, not a lot.
Man, we could have been there.
It is I think just the salary cap situation. The big thing though is we don't have to face Julio week 1 now.
That's right.
He's a guy that's torched us
got him out
in
of
the
the
past.
NFC.
Yeah, so as much as it's a negative, it is a positive for the Birds that gets him out, like you said, get him out of the NFC. Don't have to face him as often. And now with OTA stuff, we get back to OTA stuff. Devontae Smith, I'm not going to crown this kid yet because I know this is what we do in Philly.
Yeah,
we get excited.
Reaper's looking good, man.
We get excited, we crown these guys, and then they're a disappointment, and then we just think it's all over. But the cat, I know there's no one guarding him. I know it's practice, but he just is different.
You feel it, You feel it when he's out there making one-handed catches. You just got to feel like he is going to elevate the room. You know what I mean? You get a Heisman Trophy winner in here, somebody with his pedigree, done nothing NFL level yet, but you can feel it coming. And you feel like maybe these other guys, Rager and Jay Jow, maybe they can elevate their game because they're feeling a little bit like, man, we got to catch up to this dude.
Yeah, I just think his work ethic, it's different. He's different.
Everything you're hearing about the kid is his routes are smooth. His stays after practice. He wants to catch as many balls as possible. Work ethic. What we said for years. take somebody from a proven
Yeah.
program like Alabama. This is what you're gonna get.
Yeah,
You know, we went out and got guys from fucking the West Coast who were on at late night. You know, there's no work ethic at some of these colleges we were plucking guys from. You know, he comes in with a proven pedigree. This guy, he looks thin as anything, but man, when you put the pads on him and the ball game starts, this guy shows up.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I think
I'm excited.
I'm very excited about Devontae Smith. It really feels like it's a guy, a talent that we haven't had at that position in a long time. That's really what we've been looking for years. As I know, we've said a lot of people as a top, take the top off of a defense guy, or just go out there and ball type of guy, throw it to him and he's gonna catch it. It really feels like he's gonna have the possibility to do that.
Comes down to if we can stay healthy, you know what I mean? We can keep these guys on the field, not like Deshaun, you know, get us a couple good big plays and then gone, you know, for 6 games. Hopefully we can keep these guys healthy and this offense is going to be explosive. Hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, I really am hopeful about the offense. I know we've said that a couple times. It'll be interesting, really, what it is. Speaking of wide receivers still, we got a couple small notes as we continue on OTAs. Apparently they have Jay Jow in the slot now. One last hurrah. I mean, my concern is he's going to have a good training camp like he did his rookie year. Or, no, I mean a good preseason. And then maybe make the team, because the wide receiver, it's tough. It's going to be a tough run.
I mean, you do look back at the kid's time at Stanford, and he was a possession receiver. You know, he made catches. Don't know what the heck happened when he got to the Birds.
I just think he's a little too slow for the NFL. He just doesn't have. He can't get open.
I'm gonna say, and this is no knock on anybody, but maybe this kid needed another level of coaching, and maybe these guys are gonna coach him up, put him in a position to be successful. Who knows? I mean, you know that this guy has taken a lot of crap from the fans. I mean, deservedly so.
Yeah.
But I know that if this guy becomes successful, everybody's going to turn and be right there supporting him.
I mean, that was the thing we've talked about with the whole Sirianni and the leaving of Doug. Was the coaching staff not elevating people? Were they just there? Were they not helping people take the next step? And obviously, you have to see with that. There's a lot of young guys in this staff and on this team, once again, which is something to get excited about with
I mean,
team.
The more I'm thinking about Sirianni and his level of competition and where he's making everything a competition.
Yes.
He is reminding me like Pete Carroll out there with the Seahawks. That's what he does. He has that energy. Everything they do, practice, everything is a competition. Hey, who knows?
I mean, it keeps people engaged. I mean, you've seen positive feedback so far in press conferences from players about Saucy, how his energy is contagious. You get going. If you get people invested, you have better practices. It was a big thing last year that maybe people weren't having great practices and led to struggles. You never know. And if you can keep and it's a young team, you got to keep them engaged and keep them going, man.
You're hearing a lot of good stuff about Hurts as well.
Yeah.
A lot of good stuff. Leader.
Yep.
Showing up. You know, we already knew that from being Alabama people, that the kid was a leader.
Yeah.
You know? But with that said, we got to see it happen.
Yes.
You know what I mean? We are getting more excited. I'm getting more excited. I'm buying into Saucy's.
I'm buying in a little bit. I think I'm buying in a little too much, a little bit.
Yeah. I really want to see some game action. You know? Not that I'm coming down there for the preseason games, but I want to see him coaching in a real game.
Yeah, September. You know? I mean, September is closer than we think here. We're in June now. We're a couple months away. The first preseason game is August what? I mean, it's close, man. It's getting closer by the week as we keep making videos. We're going to soon be talking about games.
I'm just feeling like with this new injection of youth and the coaching staff
being
enthusiastic, it is what was needed.
Yes.
You know, no knock on Doug. We love Doug.
Yes.
Always be a Doug supporter. But, you know, this, I believe, is what we needed. And this, with this team, is what we needed to take the next step. Just
one more quick thing before we go. Corner, I know this is something we tried to address in the draft. That's why we wanted to maybe go Surtain, pick one. It's Slay, and it's a toss-up right now for that second corner. A lot of people are thinking the second corner is not even on the team yet.
Yeah, I don't think Howie's done yet.
Because they still have Maddox as that 2 guy, and we found out last year Maddox excels in the slot, if you remember his rookie season.
I mean, there are going to be guys out there. There are going to be guys cut. There are going to be guys released. I think Howie's still going to be able to pick us up a corner. Who knows?
So, I mean, that was it. I mean, yeah, I don't think he's on the roster either, but it depends. Who the heck are we going to get? We know the great cornerback signings in the past that this team has. But
never forget Namdi.
Yeah, Byron Maxwell. I mean,
terrible.
You can name them off,
wow.
Man. But, I mean, that's all we had to talk about today. As always, guys, thank you for watching. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at birds_squawk. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Fly Eagles fly.
Go Birds.